So I was scrolling through the AI agent store earlier, our usual spot for finding these tools, and I stopped on the page for one called PageIndex.
PageIndex, right. I've seen that.
Yeah, the headline on the page is doing some serious heavy lifting. It says it's a reasoning-based vectorless array.
Vectorless. That's a highly specific claim. I mean, usually when we talk about AI reading documents, vectors are kind of the undisputed king.
Right. Standard retrieval augmented generation relies heavily on them. You take a big PDF, chop it into chunks, turn those into numbers, and just dump them in a database.
Yeah. But this listing implies that approach is well flawed.
Flawed might be a strong word, but definitely limited. Standard vector array is essentially just a similarity search.
Exactly, you're matching mathematical vibes. The issue is when you chop a long document into random bits, you lose the context, you lose that narrative flow.
It's like tearing pages out of a novel and trying to guess the whole plot from just a single random paragraph.
That is a perfect analogy. And so PageIndex is pitching a hierarchical tree index instead.
A hierarchical tree index.
Yeah, think of it less like a shredder and more like a hyper-organized librarian. It maps the document logically into sections.
Like sections and subsections.
Exactly, paragraphs too.
Yeah.
It actually understands that section 3.1 belongs to chapter 3. It preserves the structure.
Which must enable that real killer feature they mention on the page traceability.
Right, because it uses that strict tree structure. It doesn't just guess an answer, it points you to the specific node.
The exact page and section reference.
Which is huge. If you're auditing a massive financial report, you definitely don't want a creative summary.
Oh, absolutely. You want concrete citations. You need to know exactly where that number came from.
It essentially turns the AI from a creative writer into a strict research assistant, prioritizing accuracy over everything else.
Looking at the access options on the page, it seems pretty versatile too. You've got the open source code for self-hosting.
But there's also a cloud chat and an API, right?
Yeah, and a freemium model to just jump in and get started.
Nice. I also noticed on the page, the autonomy level is sitting at 23%.
23%. That actually sounds really low compared to those autonomous agents that claim to run your entire workflow.
For this specific use case, though, low is actually good.
Because it means it's reactive.
Exactly. It's not going to go rogue and start emailing your boss on your behalf. It waits for your query, it reasons through the document structure, and then delivers the answer. It's a tool you wield.
It feels like we are finally moving from tools that just search fast to tools that actually read smart.
That really is the shift we're seeing. But it does raise an interesting question.
What's that?
If this tool gets so good at structuring and summarizing data, are we eventually going to stop reading source documents entirely?
Trusting the tree completely more than the actual text. That is a risky convenience for you to mull over.
Absolutely.
Well, you can find PageIndex and plenty of other tools over at aiagentstore.ai.
And hey, thanks so much for rating the podcast. It really helps us out.
Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time.